Alright, so yeah. Ophelia is not this naive, simpering, wistful, sad girl. No. Everything she says has a double meaning. Then Claudius is all like, how long has she been acting this crazy? And then Ophelia's all like, I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground, implying her father. Then she looks at Claudius and Gertrude and says, my brother will know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night. My brother shall know of it. That is, again, if Ophelia was privy to every machination that was going on via Hamlet, via some pillow talk, my brother shall know of it carries a lot of weight. She intended to tell Laertes everything that was going on. Not just that her father died. Not just that their father died. She intended to tell them everything. And I mean everything. So exit Ophelia. She leaves, probably to go cook some flowers. And then yada yada yada. Oh, blah 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 blah. I'm Claudius and I'm a giant dork. And I'm Gertrude and I'm a heartless bitch. Yada 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 yada. Boring boring. Oh, Laertes is back. Hey Laertes, what's up? Yada 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 yada. Cut for time. Let's get back to Ophelia because she's the most interesting character. Yeah, and here she is. Alright, so Laertes is like pretty sad to hear that his sister's like gone crazy. So she comes in and he's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with her? Ah! And that's my impression of Laertes. And I really like what Laertes says. He says, hadst thou thy wits, and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus. Basically, Laertes is saying, whoever you want me to kill, if you were sane enough to, like, plainly tell me who you want me to kill, I would kill them, because I am very sad that this has happened to you. He's a good big brother. I hope they're not banging. That'd be some damn magenta and riffraff shit going down there. Then Ophelia kind of just, like, talks about how you're supposed to sing this one song. And then she says, oh, how the will becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter. Yeah, that's a weird one. I'm pretty sure that's insinuating that Claudius stole Gertrude away from old Hamlet. Could be kind of implying that, like, Hamlet was screwing Ophelia against Polonius's wishes, but, like, you know, then that would mean that, but in the context of this, that would mean that, like, Polonius was Hamlet's boss, and he wasn't, because Hamlet's a prince, but, you know, what else? So I'm thinking that that means, like, Claudius stole Gertrude from old Hamlet. He says, this nothing's more than matter. Which, translated on the opposite page, it says, this nonsense means more than rational speech. He knows there's a double meaning in all this. He knows that his sister's insane ramblings mean something. It's awesome. You're a good big brother, Laertes. I really hope you're not banging your sister. All right. And then Ophelia starts handing out the flowers. Very, very famous scene, her handing out the flowers. Then she says, there's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray you, love. Remember? Now, even though I do think that this whole mad scene is very pointed at Gertrude, I think in that instance where she says, pray you, love, remember, I think some people think that she's handing that to her brother. I think that's meant for Hamlet. Kind of like, remember, you know, doubt thou, the stars are fire, and doubt thou the sun doth move. You know, I think she's trying to say, remember, you used to kind of like me, Hamlet, because here's the thing, even though she's probably calling everybody out on her bullshit, she probably is still very sad that Hamlet screwed her over. And then there's pansies, that's for thoughts. Basically just like, think about what you guys did. Alright, here's some pansies. And then Laertes says, a document in madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted, and that basically means, translated, a case study in madness to connect memory and thought. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds a little condescending to me for some reason, but maybe I'm just, like, defending Ophelia too much. Ooh, I love this one! This one's my favorite! keep in mind, this is all very pointed at Gertrude. There's fennel for you and columbines. Fennel and columbines represent adultery, implying that Claudius and Gertrude were stooping long before he killed old Hamlet. Isn't this interesting? All right. And here's a sad one. And here's rue for you and some for me. Ken pointed at Gertrude. Rue was used as an abortifacient back in the 1500s. Basically, if you found yourself in a family way, you'd put some rue in your tea, or however they did it, to get rid of a pregnancy. She's handing it to Gertrude and herself. Gertrude, she's implying that Gertrude's not old. She's not that old. Like, think about it. If she would have gotten married at like 14 or 15 in the context of this play, and Hamlet's like probably 20, Gertrude can still have a baby. So, this could be implying, just with that one line, here's rue for you and some for me, that Gertrude was pregnant with Claudius's child. Was also in love with Claudius, and that's why they killed old Hamlet. But here's the kicker. Then she says, here's some for me, implying that Ophelia has also found herself in a family way. Yeah. So, not only is Ophelia calling Gertrude out on all the shitty things that she has done, using flowery language, literal flowery language, she's also said, guess what I have in my tummy? A new little heir to the throne. So Ophelia could be carrying Hamlet's bastard. I don't like that word, but that was the word they used in Shakespeare time. Which could be an embarrassment to the royal family. Also, what if Hamlet does decide to marry her and legitimize the child? That's a contender for the crown. And if Gertrude is pregnant and she wants Claudius to be king and possibly wants Claudius's son to someday be king, well, Ophelia's just thrown a huge wrench in that, hasn't she? I'm sorry. I'm rambling. I'm rambling like an insane woman. Daisy here represents unhappy love, which, implies Gertrude was unhappy with old Hamlet. Also could imply that Claudius is not as happy with Gertrude as he initially thought he would be. Also implies that, Hamlet and Ophelia, sad times. And then she says, I would give you some flowers, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. Basically that's guilting Gertrude. That's a guilt trip against Gertrude. Like, I would give you some violets, but they all died when my father died. My father, the man that was killed by your son, Gertrude. And again, she is not sad that her dad is dead because she says they say he made a good end, which basically means they say he looked good when he was dead. Like, she's making jokes about her dad dying. That's how much she hated this man. All right. And then Laertes says something like so gross. Thought in affliction, passion, hell itself, she turns to favor and to prettiness. That translates to sadness and torment, suffering, hell itself. She makes them almost pretty, which is very insulting. I was told by an old boyfriend once when I was going through an emotional breakdown and crying that I look so pretty when I cry. That's not what you want to hear when you're going through a breakdown. And it's very shitty. So Laertes, that's a shitty thing to say. Alright. And then Ophelia, here's the last line. And then Ophelia says, and he will not come again, and he will not come again. No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed, he will never come again. His beard was white as snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and we cast away moan, God have mercy on his soul. Of course she could be talking about her father, she just mentioned him. But again, double meaning, could be Hamlet. And then she looks at everyone around her and says, "And of all Christian souls, I pray God be with you." And again, this is all directed at Gertrude. So she's basically saying, of all the Christian souls here, I pray God be with you. Again, basically a Southern woman saying, bless your heart, I'll pray for you. This mad scene is not a mad scene. It's Ophelia gets to insult the shit out of Gertrude. Ophelia has insulted Gertrude on several, I'm not going to go through them again because I watched the video again. It's too much. There's too many ways she insulted Gertrude. Rightfully so. Gertrude is a bitch. But nowhere in this mad scene did Ophelia imply that she was sad enough to kill herself. She may have been a little bit sad. And again, it's not always sadness that makes you want to end it all. It can be a number of things. But they always chalk it up to, oh, she's so sad that Hamlet doesn't love her. She's so sad that her father is dead. She's so sad that her brother basically abandoned her for a short period of time. So that's why she killed herself. No, she's not sad. She's laughing that her dad is dead, and she is insulting the shit out of Gertrude, all while saying, I'm going to tell my brother everything. Ophelia didn't kill herself. Somebody pushed her. Who? Probably the person she was talking to the entire mad scene. And funny enough, who announces that Ophelia has killed herself? Killed herself? Drowned? Why, Gertrude, of course. Thanks for watching. I'm Betty Bookworm, and hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, 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 naughty, naughty.